right, welcome back to Crunch Time, the show where you get the best slate overview in under an hour, hour and a half. Today we have a nice 7-game slate, I think. I think it's 7 games with all the cancellations. Pretty sure Chris will confirm soon. Joined as always with Chris, aka chrissair DFS, always on time, always has the hair gel ready. How are you feeling today?
I'm pretty good. Just gotta get my socks on. Gotta tweet that we're live. Gotta let everyone know, and then be good to go. I think we have a nice slate here today. But yeah, just gotta get my socks on. That's my priority right now.
Yep. While you do that, some housekeeping before we start. If you haven't already, if you've been here before, be sure to hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, hit bell button, hit all. I think bell button first, then all, so you get notified when we go live. Helps us out a lot, all that stuff with people finding our channel. So easy to do, helps you out as well. So be sure to do that. Next thing, as always, throughout the show, we use our dfscrunch.com optimizer and projections to go over the slate. You can check that out, dfscrunch.com. You can also sign up. There's a 3-day free trial, so you can try it absolutely free, no risk at all. $25 a week, $75 a month after your 3 days if it's your first time subscribing to our service. And today we have NHL starting up, so we have that ready to go. We have NBA now, MMA back soon, college sports, we have them, football, we have that. Lots of stuff here, so be sure to check that out. Next up, winnings, results.
Wait, before we start, we gotta talk about the big trade that happened today.
Yeah, I wasn't sure when to fit that in, actually, so yeah, we can do it now.
That's the most important thing today. We also got NHL. I think we'll go over a bit of NHL. Probably, I don't know, for like 5 to 10 minutes. Just go over our tools, go over my favorite ways to stack in tournaments, and cash game strategy. Just a general overview.
Okay, so about that trade, Harden moved, Levert moved, Allen moved, Exa moved. Who else moved? It was Nets, Cleveland, and Pacers, I think.
Yeah, but who was moved
Houston?
where? That's what we need to let the people know.
Oh yeah, you let us know, Chris. Do you have that ready to show, ready to see? I think.
Yeah, so the Nets got James Harden. I mean, I like that move. Some people say that there isn't enough ball to go around. Wait, 1 sec, sorry.
Are you loading it up, or?
No, I had to close my window. So I'm good with the move for the Nets. People will say Kyrie can't fit with Harden and KD, but I don't know. I like it. I think it definitely makes them better. Obviously, they move on from Allen and Levert and Prince, so that's pretty big. Pacers, they get Levert, they get rid of Oladipo. Pretty good swap for them, I think. Definitely like Levert more than Oladipo as a talent. Rockets also got a bunch of picks. Obviously, not important for DFS, but it's still pretty good. Pretty good return for them for Harden, who was pretty disgruntled. Just didn't want to be there. So yeah, they got a pretty good return considering the situation. They also got 4 draft swaps, so they can swap their pick. I think it's probably with the Nets, but I'm not sure on that. And then obviously the Cavs got Jarrett Allen and Taurean Prince, so that's pretty solid. Bumps down Drummond in DFS for us, but they're not playing today, so I don't know. This news is pretty big for this slate just because these Nets were moved. So obviously no Levert today. No Jarrett Allen, no Taurean Prince, Karooks, but he doesn't play. So yeah, we'll have a ton of interest in the Nets, guys. I'm actually just gonna update the projections really quick to remove them manually before it does it automatically.
Yeah, as you do that, let us know what you guys think of the trade in the chat. We can talk about it a bit. Definitely a big blockbuster trade, very interesting. Let us know how you're doing, what you're drinking today. Hopefully hasty with the Vitamix. I think if Thomas is here, he'll have the hot soju. What else do we have in the chat right now? Harden quit in the playoffs a couple years ago, Mighty Mole. What do you think of that, Chris?
I don't know. What do you think about that? Mighty Mole? I don't really have much to say on that.
I mean, yeah, maybe. I like the trade. I think it's a good trade. definitely interesting for Houston. They haven't. I don't think they've had the success they've wanted to have. Yeah, so definitely a good move, I think. Hasty saying, or sorry, Mike Weaver's asking, can you late swap through the website? Yeah, actually, we do have late swap working now. We updated it recently. Pretty straightforward to use now. It's a lot easier actually to use now than it was before. It also works. Like I used it yesterday, tested it out. Pretty much all you do is you go to Draftkings or Fanduel, you download your entry file there, then you go to our site, you click late swap. Let me just check if you guys can see that. Yeah, late swap at the bottom over there. Drag your file here or click this, select your CSV file, hit the build button here, rebuild, and then on the late swap page, you have to click export swapped right here. It might move you to the lineups page after it builds, but you have to go back to the late swap page and export it here, and then that'll give you a file that you can just upload directly back to FanDuel or DraftKings. Pretty easy, a lot easier than it was before, for sure. We're going to fix the thing that makes you go to the lineups page after the late swap is done building, but yeah, definitely try it out. It's really good, solid. Chris loves late swap. He says it's a big advantage on the field when you do it.
Yeah, so if you're playing tournaments, it's a huge edge. Like you get updated projections before each game starts, so obviously that's big. Yeah, so I definitely use it every time I MME. I'm MMEing today. I'm playing NHL. I'm playing NBA 150 and the big ones. So, I mean, hopefully I take something down, but I'm excited to build these tournament lineups today. Yep. Obviously playing cash as always as well.
Yep. Brandon says, I'll decide after the show if I like the tool or not. Thanks. Yeah, as always, we do the show every day, so you can always check it out and see how you like it. The show's always free, so if you can't afford that or if you don't want to try that out just yet, you can always tune in for free, absolutely free every time. Gossify says, hi. Trigger says, that's one of the worst moves I've ever seen for Houston. Also says, Nets stole Harden. Nets will win the ship as long as they don't self-destruct.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
Yeah, another one.
Hasty says player empowerment is ruining the league. Yeah, I know Hasty. He doesn't like that very much. Hates the direction the league's going in. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind it. Like as long as we get a fun product for the consumers to enjoy, I think that's all that really matters. Like at the end of the day, it's entertainment. We don't want boring games. We don't want I don't know. We don't want old school stuff. We want exciting stuff that's fun to watch, stuff that brings in money. Yeah, it's definitely better than having like a league that's not as successful financially, just to cater to people who like the old school ways. Like I don't know, I think the league's heading in the right direction. He says fans agree based on ratings. I don't know how much I'd really rely on ratings, just because so many people illegally stream. Like even people who don't know how to use a computer, they illegally stream. So yeah, I'm not too big on the ratings. Like who really has cable TV anymore? Yeah, so I don't know how I feel about that one.
Yep.
Do you have any thoughts on that, Gary?
Well, you always say that. You always say you don't trust the TV ratings. I know, like I don't watch anything on TV anymore. Like I think our generation, younger generation, even like a bit older, like most people just stream everything. So yeah, TV's kind of a little bit dated. Like if you have it, I guess you'll turn it on, but most people aren't going out of their way to get TV to watch sports. I think most people just do it on their computer.
Yeah.
So I think those ratings for sure. I think maybe you could look at like the growth of like, I don't know, DFS community, sports betting, like that sort of stuff is probably a good reflection on the success of the league as well.
Josh says Nets got two bigs on their entire roster, Jeff Green and DeAndre. Yeah, we're gonna have a ton of interest in DeAndre today. Mike says we're gonna need it tonight, I feel. Hasty says so boring to watch a bunch of princesses like Harden and Kyrie cry out their way to $2,000 million contracts. Miss real basketball.
It's a $2 billion contract.
Yeah, so Trigger says basically the Rockets get Oladipo and 4 first-rounders. Nice. I think it's a fine return, especially considering the situation that Harden presented them with. Rajon Rondo says I was so excited for the season opener for Chell, but this Harden news broke out. That's going for it all. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about Chell. I know Rajon Rondo is a big Chell guy, so definitely we'll mention we'll go like 5 to 10 minutes over the Chell slate. Josh says Hasty wrong. For them to have playing that style of ball, thinking it would win was dumb. He still mastered his role and won an MVP. I mean, yeah, I agree with that. Harden definitely mastered his role. I'm definitely with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go over some more chat before we jump into the news, get into the content here. DeAndre Jordan about to eat 30 minutes per game coming up for him from Thomas. Nets are going to be like the Clippers last year from Hasty. Ratings take streams into account by Hasty. That's what he's saying.
Definitely don't take illegal streams into account.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I doubt it, but maybe, I don't know, maybe Hasty, I mean, he's the teacher. Maybe he did his homework. Maybe he's reading on that. You never know. Well, yeah, Brandon says not illegal streams.
Oh my God.
You're not going to catch Chris laughing that hard on the stream, so I guess it must be true.
Trigger says, I was hoping the Sixers would get the deal done. Yeah, Trigger said he was a Sixers guy in the Discord. I thought Trigger was a Raptors guy. Maybe he has a few teams. I'm good with that. Definitely, if I'm a Sixers fan, I would have wanted Harden over Ben Simmons. Peter says, who the hell is Chell? Chell, just
you gotta tag Rondo for that one.
Yeah, it's like NHL instead of, you just don't say the N, so you say Chell. Trigger says definitely could offer more than Oladipo. Yep. Oh, Rajon Rondo explains NHL. Casey says worst MVP ever, Harden or Westbrook. I don't know. I'll go. They both had great seasons, so if you're just like judging off of their entire career, I would probably say Westbrook. But I think they were both valid MVPs in their respective winning seasons.
Yep.
You say who the hell is Chell?
Is hockey as volatile with the news as NBA? I think I asked you that today, Chris, and you sort of said that not so much, right? Like you kind of know well ahead of time who's in, who's out, the lineups, or
yeah. It's not as volatile, especially like right now. We know who everyone's going to start for the most part. Like there's no injuries, so there shouldn't be any late scratches. The only news that we would get would be like a change in the lines. But yeah, our projections and optimizer obviously take all of that into account. Tom says Westbrook for sure. Harden is a god. Rondo's still trying to explain to Peter why it's Chell. Mike Weaver says, I'm a Sixers fan, but I'm glad we didn't give up the house for fat ass. Yeah, we saw some videos that were pretty crazy. Yeah. Let's see here.
Nurk, questionable Cantor could smash from Josh in the chat.
Nurk is out. Cantor's in a great spot.
Yeah. Breakouts for NHL. We can go over NHL quickly, right, Chris?
Yeah, so we could just go over this tweet, and then instead of going over the GPP stuff that we usually do, let's just go over Chell and then jump into the NBA slate, just so we don't take too much of the people's time.
Yeah, we can't do housekeeping all day. We have a bit more to go through, so yeah. Let's go over this quickly. Success tweet at DFS Crunch. If you're not following us on Twitter, do that. We have a giveaway there as well. You can check it out. It's our pinned tweet. Yeah, Nick over here. I think you said it yesterday. He's been crushing. Like he's been winning like every night for the last few nights. So love to see that. What do you see here, Chris?
Yeah, as I always say, he's a DK guy. Always winning. So you do love to see that. Yeah, just nothing really more to say. You just love to see it.
Okay, next up we have some Fanduel stuff here. This is actually me. I'm surprised I made the cut for the Twitter. I never make the cut.
Wait. We got a comment from Thomas. He says, "Yo, that guy looks like Caruso, no cap." Can we go back to? Oh my God, I don't really see it, but
I don't see it either.
Oh my God.
I don't see it, but yeah, okay, back to the content here. This was the Express slate here for me at the bottom. I think I was first, second, and like third for a long time, and then I didn't watch those two games. I think I was watching the Miami game instead, so I'm not sure what happened there, but it was close. Like, it was close. Could have been a bit more, but I'll take it. It was good. Next up, we have Chris over here. He's a Fanduel guy nowadays. Yeah, how does it feel, Chris? I always ask you that.
I mean, so with this main lineup, just to get a bit more on a serious note, like I really like this lineup. The two guys who I weren't too sure about, but they fit as last pieces were Wiggins and Jarrett Allen. Obviously Wiggins smashed, that kind of saved me. I lost a big head-to-head, that's why I didn't like double up here. But yeah, Curry didn't do well at all. Got like 30, so another floor game from him. Brogdon didn't do great. Obviously Clarkson was in my core in the Discord, so he smashed. He got 40. Osman also smashed. Justin Holiday, kind of disappointing for me. He had like 2 points going to the half. Finished with 14, I think, so wasn't too bad, but definitely could have been better there. Sabonis just consistent 40. Not a ceiling, but I think 40 is his floor, so that wasn't bad. McGee played like 20 minutes, not sure why. He had like 27 at the half, finished with 27, so that wasn't great, but it was good for the price tag. And then Jarrett Allen played a season high in minutes at 36, usually like a fantasy point per minute guy. Yesterday he only got 23, so that wasn't great, but I feel like it was the right play. So I mean, that's all you can really ask for.
Yeah, it was definitely an Aaron Holiday night last night between the two holidays. There's a comment for you about Sumner, Chris from Hasty. College basketball stuff. He likes Sumner.
Yeah, he started yesterday. Yeah, he was all right. We expected Aaron Holiday to start. Sumner got the start, so he was the same price as Holiday. So lots of people just swapped one for one. Obviously, that was a mistake because Aaron Holiday smashed. I think he got like 40 fantasy points. Sumner, I think around 15, maybe 20. So yeah, that was a little unfortunate. Ghostify says my lineup. Yeah, Ghostify sent his lineup on the Discord. He had a solid lineup. He used our core, pretty close to the optimal as well. He got 331. He won $50. He wants me to shout him out as always. So yeah, shout out to Ghostify, always here, always supporting.
Yep, big shout out. Okay, next up we have Trigga over here. He did not fade Chetty Osman, so love to see that.
Trigga in the Discord, he was really in love with this particular FanDuel build. He before the slate he was like, lock in McGee, free bunny. This lineup's gonna crush. So yeah, obviously it did do pretty well. He had Thon Maker who played like 8 minutes, still got him like 17 fantasy points, so that's pretty good. Yeah, but love having Trigga here. Obviously like the screenshot a lot as well.
Yep.
And can we go back to the first one? We got a comment from Josh saying looks like Johnny Manziel. I think I'm with that more than the Alex Caruso comparison, but definitely both of them are good-looking dudes, just like Nick here. So, yeah, shout out to all three of them.
Big shout out. It's always good to see these results. I always say it, part-time DFS, but full-time results. Like, you don't want to be reading articles all day and looking up all the news all day. You can just subscribe to this channel, watch our videos, get our optimizer, and kind of it's a big shortcut. It's for sure. It helps out a lot.
I mean, the thing is, like, a lot of people have to work. Like, they have other priorities, so they don't have all day to spend on this stuff. Like I do, for example. So yeah, definitely it helps you if you're busy with work, busy with kids, family, wife, girlfriend, stuff like that. Yeah. So definitely a good product if you want to like cut the line, sort of. To get to the front. Yeah,
lots of behind the scenes stuff that we do to keep we just take into account all the news. We update all the projections in the Discord. We give out like our favorite core plays. We answer questions. So like I always say, it's part-time DFS, full-time results. So you don't have to spend like all day hours researching to have good results at dfscrunch.com. So definitely a good plug there, but it's the truth. Next up we have
Wait, what do you want to do next?
I have a hasty special.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Just before we jump into the NHL and NBA slates, we got to show Hasty some love here. This is his boy. I found this video on Reddit yesterday. Hasty's definitely gonna like this, so let's roll the clip.
Before we do that, shout out to the ad block. It's working this time, so that's always good to see.
Yeah, so I mean, this is obviously Peyton Pritchard, Hasty's boy. So yeah, you can. I mean, the big takeaway here is like these players are so good. Even a guy like Pritchard, who, I mean, most of the public would think that they could probably take in a one-on-one game. But you can see how elite his handle is, like how quick it is. But yeah, in the garage, working on this handle, you'd love to see it.
American flag as well.
Hasty says it's great. Get the topless version. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one, Hasty.
Oh my god.
I'm not sure where he's getting his Peyton Pritchard content from.
We got to keep it PG. Like, some of us here are professionals, so we can't deviate too much. Hasty, we got to keep it PG, man.
Hasty said dribbles till his hands bleed. I actually saw like a thing on that. He used to wake up at like 5 a.m. before high school, would dribble in the garage until his hands bled, then went to the gym, put up shots until he had his first class. So yeah, pretty hardworking guy. Yeah, so glad he made it to the league. Glad he's succeeding. Yeah,
for sure. Definitely one of Hasty's types, like the hard work, the grit, all that stuff. So yeah, love to see it. The grind. He needs to get the ball hog gloves. Yeah, shout out to ball hog gloves. Hansen probably has a pair of those. Okay, next up, you said we're not gonna do the tournaments because
let's just go into NHL. I just want to go over my favorite ways to stack. I have 150 in this big one today, so I got my entries already made. Before we do that, I gotta get my jersey on. It's an NHL day, NHL opener, so I mean it's only right.
What is it? Who is it? Just Vancouver?
Eddie Lack.
Solid. I should get my Naslin jersey out. Do you want to do Fanduel or Draftkings with that Lack jersey on, Chris?
Let's do Fanduel. I mean, the strategy for both of them is the same, really. Fanduel kind of changed their format with they added 2 util slots, got rid of 2 wingers, so I don't know. It kind of opens things up a little. It doesn't really change too much for tournaments. But yeah, so I guess we can just start with team stacking here. That's the main thing I want to talk about. This is really it's a big tournament sport, so this card right here, team stacking, is super important. Basically, what I normally do is I create 2 separate stacks. So that means in every lineup I'll have like 3 players from one line, like let's say 3 players from the first line of the Canucks, and then 3 players from the first line of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Yeah, so that's normally my strategy. So we can select all the teams here, Gary. We don't need to just select 2. And then we can go through this. So obviously stack size 3 means that the stack is going to have 3 people. Positions, that's normally you just want the offensive players here, so center and wingers. And then lines, here's the important part. What I normally do is just line 1 and power play 1. So if you can uncheck line 2, Gary, that would be good. And then, yeah, this means that you only get players from either line 1 or power play 1. Another thing I do is I uncheck only same line. So what only same line means is that if you have let's say line 1 and line 2 in this stack, if you have only same line, that means you won't get any mixture. So you won't get like 2 players from line 1 and then 2 players from line 2. You only get players from line 1 or players from line 2. So I usually turn it off just because I'm running line 1 and power play 1. So I don't mind if they're not on the power play, but they're playing on the first line. Guys like Yamamoto on Edmonton, he plays with McDavid. So, I mean, I don't hate it, even if he's not on the power play. I think he is, but still, that's just an example. Yeah, so this is what I normally do. I normally set the percentages to around 25. Yeah, so if you go to fill all, make that 25. And then save it. And then scroll down. So now we have one group made, so that means you'll have 3, like a 3-person stack in every lineup. What I want to do is create another 3-person stack. So let's just make the same settings here in this second stack, Gary.
Oh, sorry. Say that again. I was looking at the chat.
Just copy the first card.
what is it, 3?
Yeah, so I mean,
1-1.
another way to stack, you could do like a 4-4-2 stack if you want. You could do a 3-2 stack and then have the extra forward, just the guy who projects well. You could do a 2-2-2 stack, so you can make 3 separate stacks. A lot of flexibility here. Yeah, so this is what I normally do. I normally run every team. I select every team just because I want to see what it's giving me first, and then if I want to key in on a certain team, I'll just select that one team instead of selecting all the teams.
Yep.
So yeah, make the max offensive 0.
Did
yeah,
you touch upon why you like stacking the lineups, or anyone new to NHL? I mean, like, it's kind of straightforward if you know, but do you want to maybe...
So I mean, stacking is just for correlation. Like, I think most of the people here are probably here for NBA, so I don't want to spend too much time on it, but it's just for correlation. It's like MLB. You want to stack guys who are close to each other in the batting order. Same sort of thing. So we can build these lineups and see what it gives us, Garry. Yeah, so as you can see, can you just open one of these, any random one? So here you can see this first lineup. It gave us a 3-person Edmonton stack and then 3-person Vancouver stack. So we got the power play 1 stack for Edmonton here, with McDavid, Draisaitl, and Yamamoto. And then for Vancouver, we have I think it's one of the line stacks. So we have Hoglander, we have Besser, and we have Virtanen. This is a power play stack here, of course. And then Edler and Hedman are the defenders. We didn't set up a stack for defenders, so it's just going to give us whoever projects best. And then same thing for goalie. It's going to give us who projects the best. So yeah, like all these lineups here, they follow the same stack rule that we set. So yeah, that's how I play GPPs.
Yep. Let me just check. Okay. Yeah, lots of stuff here for sure. Like we only show you guys NBA on this show, but like we have all this stuff for every sport, every main sport, and we're always working on adding new features, making it better, making our projections sharper, all that sort of stuff behind the scenes. So definitely a good place to be if you're into DFS.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna add probably more shows later for other sports. I think it would be good.
Yep. Zion out. Yeah, I think we knew Zion was out for a while now. Mighty Mole. Nice jersey, by the way, from Rondo in the chat for you, Chris.
Yes, Vancouver.
Yep. Okay, let's jump into NBA.
I think we gotta give Mighty Mole an apology there. That was a little harsh by you, just saying that we already knew he was out.
Yeah, sorry.
We gotta appreciate Mighty Mole here for giving us the news, anyways.
Yeah. My bad for sure. I'll be a bit nicer next time if that happens again.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. NBA, first game we have Milwaukee, Detroit. Do you want to go over just like a quick slate overview? You did the trade overview, but do you want to just do like a overall, like which games got canceled, who's not playing, all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, so I guess we can start with obviously Atlanta Phoenix got postponed, so if you have any players in that game, obviously they won't play. But if you're watching the show, I don't see why you would have players from that game. Probably already know. So the big blowout game today is Milwaukee versus Detroit. It's a 10.5 point spread, obviously in favor of the Bucks. So that's probably one that we won't have too much interest in. Maybe some cheaper guys there, but probably not Giannis today. And then the other big news here today, the main big news, is the Brooklyn trade. Brooklyn's on this slate, so they lose Jarrett Allen, they lose Karis LeVert. So we're going to have a ton of value here. Guys like DeAndre Jordan, Kevin Durant, obviously in our cover. We're going to have a lot of interest in him. And then my 2 favorite games, this one's probably a little chalky, Portland versus Sacramento. Highest over-under by far at 236. Tight spread, 3.5 favoring Portland. So I really like that game. It's probably going to be chalky. And then a lower-owned game that I like that has a decent total and spread is Memphis versus Minnesota. As I always say, we like to target Minnesota, so I think this game will probably go a little under-owned. People really don't like to play the Grizzlies unless Morant is in. Yeah, just because they spread the ball out so much. I think you can get some nice ownership on them in tournaments, though.
Yep. Just to touch up on what Mighty Mole said about Williamson being out. I'll just say it. We do update the projections in the background, so if you are a member, like, you don't have to worry too much about that news. We take care of it. We also let you guys know in the Discord. So all the projections, all the news is always taken into account here. So you don't have to like scour the internet for like news or go on Twitter, unless you want to, but you don't have to here. So
it's
a little
still
bit
nice
easier.
to know why some guys are popping and stuff like that.
Yep. One quick question: Stanley Cup predictions from Trigger. We didn't mention that one, Chris.
I'll go with the Lightning. They're probably the favorites right now. Maybe the Leafs. I'll go with the Leafs as a sort of dark horse. But I think I'd go with the Lightning if I had to put my money on it.
Yep. Okay, so first game, Milwaukee, Detroit. Injuries over there. Portis probable on Milwaukee, and Craig is out for them. Starters, we have Holiday, Dante DiVincenzo, Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Brook Lopez. You mentioned the spread already in this game, but what do you think of this game for cash or GPP?
So yeah, as I mentioned, we probably have more interest in other teams, but if you land on these guys, like, they have the second highest implied team total today at 119. Obviously, if this game stays close, Giannis will crush. So for that reason, I like him a lot in tournaments. He usually doesn't really pop out in cash games in these sort of matchups, just because we have other spend ups that we would like to get instead. Guys like KD, Dame, Ingram now with no Zion. So yeah, not too much interest in these Milwaukee guys. Two guys I'll touch on here. I like Chris Middleton as a last piece in Fanduel, 7.4K. For my cash games, I don't mind that if I have to go there as a last piece, like I said. And then Brook Lopez is 4.5K. I don't mind that price tag either. It's not the worst. It's not the best. It's more of a last piece. Yeah, so not too much else. Like, these guys are mostly tournament guys for me.
Yep. Okay, next up, Detroit side, we just have D Rose listed. I think he's questionable right now. Starters, we have Wright, Jackson, Grant, Griffin, Plumlee. What are the odds of Rose not playing today? And then if he's out, how's that going to affect your opinion on the players here?
This team is just, it's not a team we have interest in for DFS purposes. Yeah, like, they're just bad. If Derrick Rose is out, I don't know, DeLon Wright in tournaments, but he's priced up now, so I don't need to go there. Yeah, I really don't want to waste any time talking about the Pistons here. If you want to chase Jeremy Grant's game log, like, you can do that in tournaments. I honestly don't think it's too sustainable, but he's been good. He's been shooting a ton, so he'll get him low owned, but other than that, I don't know. I don't want to touch anyone on the Pistons.
Yep. Thon Maker was waived, actually. I just saw that.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter for us just because the Cavs aren't on today's slate.
Yep.
The only team from that trade that's on today's slate is the Brooklyn Nets.
Yep. Dallas is playing today, right?
Dallas? Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Just making sure. Okay, next up we have Dallas against the Hornets. We can go over Dallas news first. Let me just load up the starters. Injuries there, we have Brunson, Finney-Smith, and Josh Richardson all out for them. Porzingis probable. Powell and Kleba also out. Starters, we have Doncic, Green, Hardaway Jr., Porzingis, and Cauley Stein. What do you make of Dallas today? Who's playing for them?
So they have a lot of health and protocol stuff going on. So they have a ton of guys out, mainly in the front court with Finney-Smith, Kleba, Dwight Powell. They're obviously out. Josh Richardson also out. Brunson in the backcourt is out. So yeah, we're gonna have interest in the Mavs today, just because we have some cheap guys here. We have some value popping up. One guy who's not too popular on this show, I mentioned him a few nights ago, James Johnson. Just with all these bigs out, obviously they're getting KP back, but I expect KP to be on a pretty strict minutes restriction, probably around 24, 26 minutes. So yeah, I like James Johnson. I expect him to also play around 24, 26 minutes. As I always say, he's a good fantasy point per minute guy. So if you want to play him as a last piece, I mean, I don't mind it. 3.9K on DK, 4.2 on Fanduel. More of a cash game play, honestly. But yeah, I don't hate that. Someone else here for value, Willie Cauley-Stein on DK, 4.1K. Probably don't need it just because we have DeAndre Jordan for 3.4K. But if you want to play both of them in your cash games, I don't mind that. And then obviously Luka Doncic. Like, Luka's in a smash spot here. Bunch of guys out, so more rebounds for him. Gets KP back, so he'll get some easy assists with him. So I do like spending up for Luka a lot. On both sides, both formats. Definitely like spending up for Luka today.
Yep. Before I go over the Hornets, in the chat, Hasty saying Plumlee Day today, and then he's also saying Jeremy Grant has been on fire lately.
Yeah, I have no interest in Plumlee just because he doesn't have a ceiling with Blake in, with Grant in, with like they're so deep at the 5. I have no interest in Plumlee.
Yep. Okay. Hornets. No news there that I see. Starters right now, we have Graham, Rozier, Hayward, Washington, and Bismack Biyombo. Ball, I think he's been like in the top GPP lineups the last couple of times. Like, he's had some good performances. What do you think of his price tag at this point and just the Hornets in general today?
Yeah, so Ball is actually pretty interesting. Like, a lot of people have sticker shock with him just because his price is around the 7K mark, but he's been crushing that. He's been coming in under-owned on every slate, and he's been crushing for people who roster him. I haven't been rostering him, obviously, but if you're playing tournaments, I definitely like LaMelo Ball a lot. Like, maybe some more people get onto him now, but I still think you get him under-owned for what he should be. I think this price tag is fair, honestly. He's been stuffing the stat sheets, like near triple doubles every game, bunch of blocks and steals. So yeah, he's been really good DFS wise. He's been good real life wise as well. So I like LaMelo in tournaments today. Other than that, I don't have any interest in any of these other Hornets, just because we'll talk about other pieces we like more later. Yeah, so just LaMelo Ball in tournaments really for me.
Yeah, not only is he stuffing the sheets, but the Hornets are actually winning. I think they're on a 4-game win streak, so it's good to see like they're performing well and he's stuffing the stat sheet. So
yeah, they're definitely they look good this year. Maybe they'll sneak into the 8 seed, 7 seed, but we'll have to wait and see. But I'm a fan of the Hornets. I like the Hayward move a lot.
Yep. Tom is saying, please trade Devontae.
Yeah, Thomas is pretty low on Devontae. He's been saying that for a while now. Every slate we get Charlotte on, he's always saying that.
Yeah, we've got it in on the Charlotte front office here. Hayward will lead them out of the basement from Hasty.
Yeah, I like that.
You like that? Okay. Let's go over to the next game. We have Brooklyn against the Knicks. Brooklyn side, obviously we have the trade news there. Durant in, Irving.
Wait, one second, just because this game is so big. If you guys are watching and not subscribed, if you could give us a subscription, helps us a lot. So we would appreciate that a ton. Thumbs up. If we could get it to 20 again today, that would be awesome. We got to 20 for the first time yesterday. If we could get that again, that would be sick. And yeah, I guess we can get to this Brooklyn game now.
Yeah, maybe we can get to 30 one day. One of these days, that'd be nice. Yeah, Brooklyn.
I don't want to push it. Just don't want to be unrealistic here.
Okay. Brooklyn. Durant is in for them. Irving, Kai is out. Harden, he's not showing up yet. Claxton out for them. Johnson also out. I guess we also have the trade pieces as well. Starters right now with Brown, Harris, Durant, Green, Jordan. I guess you can touch upon the trade better, who's in, who's out, like how it affects their roster a bit more than I can. So yeah, let's get into Brooklyn. Like, give me your thoughts here.
So I think they have like 9 guys available. I'll go through them. We have KD, we have Joe Harris, Bruce Brown, Landry Shamet, DeAndre Jordan, Jeff Green, Chris Chiozza, TLC, and a random dude named Reggie Perry. Never heard of Reggie Perry, so no interest there.
You think
But
he's
all these other guys,
it's-
sorry?
wondering
I
if
think
he's a
you-
player that
give
Hasty
your
would
page-
know.
No, probably not. Give your page a refresh, Gary, just so you get the updated projections with the people I manually excluded. Yeah, so with these guys, obviously Katie is the big guy here. Like everyone's out. He's gonna be the main ball handler. No more Levert, so that's big for Katie as well. The only concern here is he was not gonna play back ends of back-to-backs. Obviously, this is the back end of a back-to-back. But he's playing today, so no problems there. Obviously, it's kind of a fake back-to-back just because they're playing in Brooklyn and then New York. So they're playing in the same city, like 5 miles away from each other. So it's not really no concerns with travel or anything like that. So yeah, I love KD today. He's obviously on the cover of our thumbnail today. He's my favorite play on both sites. So he's going to be the lock that I mentioned later on. So yeah, love KD. We'll have to see who they start. Steve Nash has been starting some weird lineups. Maybe it's a little more normal today. If I had to guess, I would say Bruce Brown at the 1, Joe Harris probably at the 2, KD at the 3, Jeff Green at the 4, DeAndre Jordan at the 5, something like that. Yeah, so I have interest in all of these guys, really. Bruce Brown really stands out for me on both sides. Minimum on Fanduel, 3.5K. We expect him to start. He's always been a guy that stuffs the stat sheet, really. He gets assists, rebounds well, some steals. So, yeah, I do like Bruce Brown a lot. On DK as well, 3.3K. Just an easy lock. No need to get cute there. So we got 2 locks already from Brooklyn. Another guy that's a lock is DeAndre Jordan, 3.4K on DK, 3.8 on Fanduel. It's just no Jarrett Allen. We expect him to see at least 32 minutes probably. So yeah, love DeAndre Jordan today. He's a lock for me. That probably does it for the most part on Fanduel in cash games. In tournaments, you could play guys like TLC, Joe Harris, people like that. But I have more interest in them over on Draftkings. TLC is only 3.5K, so that price tag works for me. He should see a good amount of minutes as well, so I like that in cash. Joe Harris, 5.5K, a little more expensive, but just because they're so thin, I don't mind it if you want to go there in cash games. But yeah, most of my interest comes from Brown, Durant, and Jordan, but you can fit these other guys in as last pieces in cash games. And then, sorry, one more guy, Jeff Green, if he's starting as I project him to, I don't mind him either as a last piece.
Yep. Over in the chat about Kai Irving, Hasty saying Kyrie choosing his sister's birthday party over playing with his team, questionable leadership, and then right after that we have a retracted message from Hasty, so we have no idea what he said. Maybe he got censored by YouTube, we don't know. But what do you make of the first comment? I have no idea what he said.
I'm trying to stall a bit so I can send you this video. Is it easiest in Discord for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, just open that up. We can take a look at what Hasty's talking about. We got a nice video of Kyrie dancing. Yeah, so let's get full screen, please. Yep.
It's getting smaller the more. Yeah, I guess we'll do that.
Yep. Yeah, that's Kyrie in the background with his dance moves. Obviously, this is his sister's 30th birthday party. No masks involved here. This is in his favorite club in New Jersey, I believe, hometown of New Jersey. So yeah, you can see Kyrie dancing here. Pretty happy. Probably happy now that they have Harden as well. He's probably doing this dance somewhere in his home in Manhattan or Brooklyn.
Yeah, I agree with the questionable leadership, though. I don't think you can really. It's probably hard to look at him like if you're on his team as a leader there, like on the basketball
Yeah,
court.
I mean, the only way he leads is it's by his
skill?
play. Yeah, his skill. But yeah, other than that, I'm with you. Hasty says Club 466. I'm surprised Hasty knows all of this. He's definitely digging into the rumors of all these guys. He knew about the Pritchard thing. Knew about this. I have one question, Hasty. Are you on the NBA Reddit?
Trigger says, "Good thing he's the third best player on that team now." That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
They're kind of stacked.
Hasty says no Reddit. Surprised. Where do you get this news from then? Lols.
while we wait on Hasty, I'll go over the Knicks news there. Frank Ntilikina out for them. Burks out. Taj Gibson back in. Obi Toppin probable now, and Bullock is doubtful. Starters right now, we have Peyton, Rivers, Barrett, Randall, and Robinson. What do you make of the Knicks today? I see Peyton's price tag at 6.6 on DraftKings. That seems kind of high from what I recall, but yeah, what do you make of the Knicks, Chris?
So before I talk about them, if Rajon Rondo is in here and we get news on anything in the Penguins game, could you let me know in the chat? Just because that game locks in 15 minutes. But yeah, with the Knicks here, there's interest for me. Obviously, you mentioned Alfred Payton's price on DK. It's way too expensive. It makes more sense on Fanduel, 5.7K. Definitely don't mind that if you want to go there as a last piece sort of thing. But my main interest comes from Julius Randle. I had him last game at like 20% in cash games. He played absolutely awful. He looked lazy. He didn't look like he was in shape. He looked like the old Julius Randle. So that's a little concerning, but we got a little bit of a decreased price here. 9.1K on DraftKings and 9.1 on FanDuel as well. Fits better for me on FanDuel just because we have to roster 2 power forwards. He's an easy one to plug in, so I think he's a lock for me in my FanDuel cash games. Don't mind him in tournaments, obviously. He plays a ton of minutes, so he has upside there as well. On DraftKings, 9.1K, I'm interested in it too in my cash games. We project him for around 48, 47 and a half, so like it's definitely not an overspend for him. He's probably a little too cheap. We have him over 5x value right now, point per dollar. Yeah, so if you want to play him as a last piece in your DraftKings cash games, don't mind that. Probably no interest in anyone else on this team.
Yep. About Randall, I think that was the second half of the back-to-back. He looked tired. Do you think that could be part of the reason?
Yeah, it was the second half of back-to-back. I mean, it could be the reason. He only played 30 minutes as well, so he's probably fresh for today's game. As I always say against the Nets, like they always seem to give up a huge game against someone. Yesterday they gave up like 70, 72 to Jokic. So I kind of like targeting stars versus the Nets for whatever reason. I don't have any statistical proof for that, but it's just sort of a feel thing that I have.
Yeah. Comments from Hasty about Randall. He's saying he's going to show up for the Battle of New York today.
Yeah.
Okay. Next game we have the Lakers against the Thunder. I can go over the Lakers first. Davis questionable. James, I don't know if that's right, but we don't have a questionable tag for him. It's actually in. We have James marked as in. Dudley Matthews.
We got news that he was expected to play.
Impressive. Dudley Matthews out. KCP probable. Let's go over the starters there. We have Schroeder, Pope, James, Davis, Gasol. What do you make of the Lakers today?
So same thing as I always say. If one of them is out, we play the other one. If both of them are in, we have no interest in cash games unless it's like a matchup against the Wizards or something that we can't pass up on. They're both priced pretty fairly. If you want to play them in tournaments, I don't mind that, but no interest in cash games. And then other pieces in this game, I mean on this team, no interest either, just because they're playing with LeBron and AD. Don't have the ball in their hands too much, so I don't want to spend too much time on this game. It has a pretty low over-under. The spread is the second largest on the slate, 8.5 favoring the Lakers. So I mean, it's not really a game that I want to target today when we have better places.
All right. Before I go into the Thunder, just got news about D Rose questionable. What do you make of that, Chris?
Still questionable?
Yeah, just the new one saying he's questionable.
Yes, no difference.
Yep. Okay. On the Thunder side, let's see what we have here. Injuries news there. We have Al Horford and Ty Jerome both out for them. Starters, we have SGA, Hill, Dort, Baisley, and Roby. I remember like Roby going on the highlight reel against, who was it?
Maybe the Spurs? No, that was
yesterday. Against Vucevic. He put Vucevic in the blender a few times. Like he did really well against him. So I like Roby, but I think he hasn't I don't know if it's been minutes for him or what, but I'll definitely take a look at him. But yeah, what do you think of the Thunder? Any interest in Roby today from you?
Yeah, so Al Horford is out. I think Roby is in a great spot here.
Yeah, this one here.
I'm not sure if he's going to start or Muscala. We'll have to wait and see on that. But even if, I mean, they started Roby last time Horford missed, so probably expect the same thing. Teams don't usually like to switch that up too much, so I expect Roby to start. Not too much interest over on Fanduel for me. He's 4.1k at power forward. I'd rather go to James Johnson for 100 more if I'm being honest, just because they have a bunch of their big guys out. So yeah, if I'm playing cash games, I prefer James Johnson to Roby as of now. Maybe if we get confirmation that he's starting, I'll have more interest, but I'll definitely keep that updated in the Discord afterwards. But he really stands out for me on DK. He's only 100 over the minimum, 3.1k, so that's way too cheap. That's a lock for me in cash games. Even in tournaments, really good price. So I love Roby there on DK. And then one more guy, the only other guy I always mention on the Thunder, SGA. 7.7k on DK, that price tag really works for me as well. Just I think he gets a ton of usage here as he normally does. Ton of shots. Price is a lot better over on DK, 7.7 compared to FanDuel 8.8. So not too much interest in FanDuel. Lakers are pretty tough defensively, but on Draftkings, I like the price tag a lot for SGA in my cash games.
Okay. Let's go into the next game, Memphis, Minnesota. Let me load that up. I think there's some comments in the chat for you, Chris, to go over while I do that.
Yeah, Rajon Rondo said just got second place over on EPL today. Easy $2 to $40. Made a few locks and last minute swaps because of injury news, but the rest is all because of the optimizer, best tool in the industry. Yeah, you'd love to hear that.
Should we pull it up? Can you send it?
No, I mean, I don't know. Did he post it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah, you getting it?
It's in the Discord. You usually make fun of me when I take a screenshot in the Discord, but I mean, I'll give it to you here. Yeah, there it is. But yeah, that's awesome to hear. Yeah, not much else to say on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 25 to 89. The reason it's so blurry is it's so small on my screen. So when I take that screenshot, that's why it's like that. But yeah, 25 to $90, pretty cool here. Yeah.
Yep, definitely the production quality is a little shaky here sometimes. Some nights, like, you never know what you get with Chris's screenshots.
Oh, we got a comment here from, looks like a Latvian guy here. He's asking about Porzingis. He has the name. You want to take a shot on this one, Gary?
You always tell me not to pronounce any of the names.
Okay, I'll say the guy on the Thunder. His name is Alexei Pokushevsky.
Yeah, Pokushevsky, but we've heard that one.
Okay, well, this guy's Utku Chil. Is Porzingis gonna play? Yeah, he's gonna play, but we expect him to be limited. So yeah, as Hasty said, he's gonna be limited. So no interest in him today. He's priced up, but yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool to see him back.
Pardon?
Cool to see Porzingis back.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think the pronunciation from you was a good shot. I hope it was close. If we get the basketball reference, like enunciation spelling, like that'll be nice as well. We can get it right next time. Let's go into the next game. We have Memphis at Minnesota. We can go over Memphis first. Conchar, questionable. Tilly, Porter, Winslow, and Jackson all out for them. Starters right now, we have Jones, Brooks, Anderson, Clark, and Joval. Jonas Valanciunas. Any interest in Memphis, Chris?
I mean, no, I talked about it at the start of the show. These guys are pretty good in tournaments, but just because of their matchup against the Timberwolves. But I have no interest here in cash games. Like, we don't know who it's going to be. One guy I'll mention, more of a FanDuel cash play, is Brandon Clark. 5.6k if you want to go there. I don't mind it, but I think all these guys are more tournament plays. Like, definitely don't mind Joval, Clark, Brooks, Anderson in tournaments, but don't want to touch them in my cash games.
Yeah, we just got word about Flyers defenseman Shane I don't know the hockey player names yet. Gostis Berry, Gostis Behir,
Gostis Bear.
Gostis Bear. He's out, Chris. So
Let me see if I have any of him. Yeah, I don't have any, so I think we knew that. Yeah, so but thank you. Yeah.
yeah, you're welcome. Went over Memphis. Nothing else there, Chris, for you?
Yeah, nothing else there.
Okay, Minnesota side, we have Josh Kogi and Catman, both probable for them. Starters, we have Russell, Beasley, Culliver, Juancho, Hernan Gomez. Question to trigger, what does he think of Juancho today? And Catman, if he's in, Karl Anthony Towns. Yeah, what do you think of Memphis today? And are you surprised to see Cat back playing? Because I remember before, I don't know if you were trolling me, but you said he probably wasn't going to come back for the season.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely wrong on that. I wasn't trolling. I don't know. I saw some YouTube doctor. I saw a 5-minute video. He said it didn't look good, so that's where I got my scoop from. But I mean,
The
can't
YouTube
trust
doctor?
those YouTube doctors, I guess.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but it's nice to see him back. Obviously, he's a stud. He's probably going to be under-owned today, just because people are probably scared of playing him. They'd rather spend up to other guys. Everyone's going to spend down at DeAndre at center, so you're going to get low ownership on Towns. Pretty good matchup against Memphis. I always like targeting the Grizzlies. Anyone else here? No, not really. I don't know. I don't want to waste my time on this game.
Yep.
Other than cat and tournaments.
Yeah, let's move on then.
No interest in cash games.
Barry says in the chat, Barry Williams says, no Zaya, no Bledsoe, no Lonzo.
Did we get news confirmation on Bledsoe? That was a pretty big thing we were waiting for. Just see. Yeah, I don't think we got news on that yet. If we did, could you give us the source of the Twitter or wherever you saw that?
Yeah,
I think we had him as questionable.
Yeah, I don't see any new news yet, but if you have something, definitely share it, paste it. We'll confirm it here so everyone knows 100%. Hasty saying Brandon Clark been on lately, might get some tonight.
Yeah, like I said, if you want to play him in cash games as your last piece, I like him more on Fanduel, 5.6K, but I don't know. I'd rather spend down a little to James Johnson or Roby, spend up to Randall. So he's not really fitting any of my builds as of now.
Okay, I think the Atlanta Phoenix canceled, postponed. Next up, we have Portland, Sacramento. Let me load it up. Do you want to stall with any YouTube comments while I do that, Chris?
I don't think we have anything. We don't have anything new right now, but I just want to say, once we reach 100 subscribers on YouTube, we're giving away a monthly pass, free monthly pass. Probably add in a few weekly passes as well. So if you want to get in on that, even if you're a subscriber to our site currently, you'll get a free month or week, whatever you win. Yeah, so if you guys can hit the subscribe if you're not subscribed, that helps a lot. If you could give us a thumbs up. We're at 13 right now. If we could reach 20, that would be sick. Yeah,
let's get to 20, guys. Let's do it. Are we still doing the stat line giveaway? Like, because I don't think you can post comments while we're live.
Yeah, it might be tough if you can't do that. So
do you want to just do it? Maybe we can do it on Twitter because we said we would do it. So I'll just link the Twitter in the chat. If you guys have like a stat line today, just mention us, like add us, and say like name the player. I think the player has to play over 5 minutes in the game.
No. Just reply to the most recent tweet, the one that said this video is live, and just say the stat line of a player. Can't be 000. Other than that, you're good. If you win, we'll give you a free month or week. What do you think, Gary?
Let's do a month.
So I mean, if you get it right, like completely right, just points, rebounds, assists, we'll give you a free month.
Yeah, I'll give that's the link. So just do it in there. Do that. We'll check it after the night's over, and then if you get it right, we'll give that to you. I think we'll do this every day until we get way too many winners. Then we'll have to stop doing it. But for now, I think we can do it every day, no problem.
I don't think your link worked. Let me just post it.
Okay, I'll go over the next game while you do that. Portland, Sacramento. Portland side, we have Lillard probable. and Nurkic is questionable for them. Starters, we have Lillard if he's in, McCollum, Jones Jr., Covington, and Nurk. Yeah, what do you think of Portland today, Chris?
So, as I mentioned at the start of the show, this game has the highest over-under. It's at 236 right now, so highest by far. So I have a lot of interest in Dame here, especially on Fanduel. He's 9.2K, so that's a good discount. He's probable right now with the ankle. I think he's going to play. Probable always means in for me. So I love Dame today, 9.2K. That really stands out. CJ McCollum, he's been really good this year, but he's priced up. So more of a tournament play for me if you think he can continue his hot shooting and hot play in general. And then the big news we'll have to monitor is Jusuf Nurkic. He's currently questionable. I think he played like 8 minutes last game and then got hurt, so he didn't come back. Cantor obviously filled in for him. The thing with Cantor is they priced him up, so it's a pretty fair price regardless. So it's not something I'll be too crazy about, but it's there if you want it in tournaments. Obviously, we have DeAndre Jordan in a much better spot, much better salary, so I don't need the Cantor news today or Nurkic news to open up Cantor today. I don't need that. Yeah, that pretty much does it. Main guy is Dame here on FanDuel, and then CJ in tournaments on both sites.
Okay, let's go over Sacramento. Over there we have Buddy Buckets, Buddy Hield, probable for them. Rashawn Holmes, also probable. Starters, we have Fox, Hield, Barnes, Bagley, and Holmes. Yeah, what do you think of the Kings today, Chris?
Yeah, so like I said, this is the best game environment of the slate. They have an implied team total of 117, so I think that's third highest on the slate. De'Aaron Fox, he's 7.3K on FanDuel, 7.4 on DK, so that price tag's really nice. Don't expect him to be on a minutes limit anymore. Played 38 last game, so that's really good. So we're getting him for a discount. In this really just the easiest matchup, honestly, in my eyes, against the Blazers. They're just awful defensively. If Cantor is in for Nurkic, it makes them worse defensively. So yeah, I love these Kings guys. Fox for me in cash games really stands out. Probably fits a little better on FanDuel. On Draftkings, you can spend up for Luka instead of paying that mid-range price for Fox. But yeah, Fox is the main guy. Buddy Hield, if you want to go there, 5K on FanDuel, don't mind that either. Yeah, that pretty much does it for this team. Holmes in tournaments, you can do that. Halliburton in tournaments, don't mind that either. Price tag on him is a lot better on FanDuel though, so if you want to do Halliburton, I'd do it on FanDuel.
Okay, let's go over last game here. We have New Orleans against the LA Clippers. New Orleans side, we have Lonzo Ball out. Redick probable, Williamson out for them. Bledsoe still questionable. No confirmation that he's out right now, so still questionable. And then Adams is back in. Starters, we have Bledsoe, Redick, Hart, Ingram, and Adams. Any interest in the Pelicans, Chris?
Well, yeah, Zion is out, so ton of interest here. And Lonzo's out as well. So yeah, Bledsoe on FanDuel really stands out for me, 5.3K. Little more expensive on DK, I think, 5.8K. So I don't need it as much, but if you want to go there on DK, I don't mind it. He's a lock for me on FanDuel. Obviously, he's questionable right now. If he's out, we'll be able to late swap to someone like Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Even if Bledsoe's in, I have some interest in Alexander Walker. He chucks. He's a stud. Love his price tag on DK, 3.1K. So that stands out to me. And then obviously Brandon Ingram is the main big upgrade here with Zion out. He'll have the ball in his hands a ton. Tough-ish matchup against the Clippers. He'll have Kawhi or Paul George on him. That's the only negative here, but his price tag really fits, 8.5K on DK. I think he's 8.8 on FanDuel, so a little more. But yeah, I like a lot of these guys.
Yep. Mike Weaver saying MME for hockey is not working. Could be too big of a stack size.
Yeah, I did it. We did it live on the show. It might be you set the stack too big. Maybe it's because the slate started 5 minutes ago. But yeah, on the site, it's working for me.
Yeah. It wasn't working earlier for me, but obviously I made a mistake. Like I had a too large of a stack size on FanDuel, so it wasn't valid. Like you can't do that stack size on FanDuel, so that's why it didn't work for me. Then I fixed that; it worked. So it could be a setting. I'll look into it more after. I'll send you a message on Discord. We can go over it. If there's an issue there, we'll fix it. But it was working earlier, so it should be good. What else is there? Josh Hart at 4.4K from Hasty. Solid rebounder for a guard. Nova boys.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah, that's a fine play. If Bledsoe's out, Hart's gonna be like really good value. So keep an eye on that. But if Bledsoe's in, I don't know. I don't really see too big of a ceiling here for him. I think he has a decent floor. Currently project him for 26.8. So yeah, I mean, I don't mind it.
Okay, let's go over last team here, Clippers. Before we get into the best part of the show, the picks of the day, the locks of the day, the chalk of the day, the fades of the day, all that stuff. I'm always excited for that. I think that's my favorite part of the show. Let's do the Clippers. We have Zubac. How do you say his name? Zubac?
Yep.
Questionable for them. Starters, we have Pat Bev, George Leonard, Batum, Ibaka. Yeah, any interest in the Clippers, Chris?
Not really. Just because we have spend ups, like usually we get the Clippers if we want to spend up for Kawhi and Paul George, but we have other spend ups that we'd rather get to, like KD, Dame, Luka on Draftkings, obviously, SGA, Ingram. So yeah, I don't really have interest in these guys. Kawhi 9.2 on FanDuel. That's a price tag that kind of stands out to me. He's probably the only guy I've interested in this game.
Yep. Just got word. Zinger, Kristaps Porzingis is starting today.
Yep. So that's as expected.
Yep. Okay. Is that everything for you on the Clippers side?
Yep.
Okay. Let's reset all of this stuff here. Best part of the show coming up here. Core plays of the day. Definitely the best part to tune into if you don't have much time. We go over FanDuel first. Let me just make sure my settings are all correct. Should be good. Okay, who's your first core play of the day over on FanDuel, Chris?
So let's go with Dame. 9.2K, really good matchup against the Kings. So yeah, that really stands out for me.
Okay, next up, who do you have?
Eric Bledsoe at shooting guard, 5.3K. Obviously, he's questionable. If he's out, we'll just pivot to someone else. Like it's not going to be a hard pivot. So I'm good with playing him at questionable. If he's in, obviously Zion is out, Lonzo is out, so that helps him a lot. 5.3K, just way too cheap.
Yep.
Next up, Kevin Durant. Obviously, he's the cover of our live stream today. Thumbnail, 10.1K. Just lock him in. They're really thin, so that really works for me. Julius Randle, 9.1K. As I mentioned a little bit, power forward is kind of thin. You have the salary to spend up here, so I like spending up for Julius Randle at 9.1. And then obviously DeAndre Jordan, just no Jared Allen, 3.8K. Easy play.
Easy peasy play?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hit build, see what we get. 5 locks today. Quite a bit.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, what do you see here? What do you like? What don't you like? Which one should we heart?
So let's get the first one. Let's get the LaMelo Ball one.
Where this one? 5?
Mm-hmm. And then let's get the Brandon Ingram one, number 2.
Okay, what do you like here? Let's compare
So I mean,
first
you
two.
can see the first one has a pretty big projection difference over the next two. It's at like 1.4 right now over the second one, almost 2 points over the third one. So when you have this, it usually means that the build is obvious. So yeah, it's a 2v2 for every build. We have Dame locked in everywhere. Bledsoe, Bruce Brown, KD, Randall, James Johnson, and DeAndre Jordan. all the guys that I touched on. So I really like that core. Then for the 2v2, we have Fox Middleton on the first team, Alfred Payton Ingram second team, and LaMelo Middleton third team. So I mean, just comparing the first and the third here, it's Fox versus LaMelo. 7-3 for LaMelo versus the Blazers. That's an easy play for me. So I'm definitely leaning that Fox side there. And then comparing the 2v2 between the first and the second, Fox Middleton versus Peyton Ingram. I don't know. I think I like this first side just because I think Fox is way too cheap, 7.3K. As I keep saying, it's versus the Blazers, highest team total of the entire slate. So yeah, I like this first side. Obviously, the second one gets you Ingram, but don't love paying 5-7 for Alfred Payton. Minutes have been kind of going down for him. Obviously, he rebounds and assists well, so you got that going for you. But I like this first side with Fox.
Okay, sounds good. Let's do DraftKings. Who's your first core play of the day over here?
It's Bruce Brown. He's 3.3K. Just opens up a ton of stuff for us. So yeah, I like that a lot. I think he has multi-position eligibility, so that helps as well. So yeah, Bruce Brown's my first one. Next up, I'll go with KD. He's the cover boy on the thumbnail today, so always like that. Always love to see that. 9.4K, so just way too cheap, even cheaper than Fanduel. So that price tag really works for me. Next up, another net here, DeAndre Jordan, 3.4K. Jared Allen's out, so you just jam him in. He's a free square tonight, honestly. No other way to really put it. And then Isaiah Roby, he's 3.1K as well. Just an easy play. You don't need to get cute. It opens up salary for you to spend up at the other positions. So yeah, those are my 4 locks.
Yeah, I like Roby today. So, okay, that's it. Build. I think we're good here. Setting wise, player groups, good. Yeah, as always, if you guys have any questions about your own construction, optimizer, or anything like that, let us know. We can go over that right now. So, a good time to do that if you have any. Yeah. What do you see here, Chris? What do you like?
Let's get this. Let's see here. Yeah, let's get this first build. Let's get the. Let's get the third one. Let's get number 4 as well. Get a LaMelo Ball team in there. Kind of like 8 with Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And then one more. Let's see. Let's get 11 in there. TLC.
Okay. Save lineups. Okay, what do you like here? Which ones do you want to go over?
Since we have so many here, we can just focus on construction. So obviously the first, 4th, and 5th ones get you Luka. I think that's right on today's slate. So we can go ahead and remove the other 2. I just want to compare the Luka lineups here. Yeah, so these 3, now we're kind of tightening it up a little bit. The second and third one, the difference is TLC versus Nickeil Alexander-Walker, if you want to just highlight that. And then SGA and Fox on for every team. Yeah, so we got 2v2. We'll just talk about the players that all these lineups have. Luka, obviously I love him today. I think we can spend up there just because we have a lot of value. Bruce Brown, lock for me. Ingram, I love Ingram today. Better price on DK, 8.5K, so he fits better here. Love that. KD, obviously in all the builds, he's a core play. Same as DeAndre, same as Roby. So we got 2v2 here. I guess we can compare the second and third first, just because it's a 1v1. We got Nickeil Alexander-Walker versus TLC. I'm Nickeil Alexander-Walker all day over TLC. Like, Nickeil just chucks the ball. Canadian boy, just too cheap. If Bledsoe is out, even better spot for him. So you have that upside. So I'll go with Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And then comparing the first 2 teams, we have Fox and James Johnson versus Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. So if you want to highlight those, we could do that.
Fox, James Johnson, and Who was it
SGA.
here? SGA. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so I like the second team a lot more. You get I think they're half brothers. You get SGA and NAW. Obviously, they both have the Alexander in their last name. I think they're half brothers. Yeah, so I mean, I don't want to play this first team really. I like this second team a lot more. Nikhil Alexander Walker, as I keep saying, he chucks the ball 3.1k, just way too cheap. I like paying that more than 3.9 for James Johnson, and then you get SGA over Fox, who I like more. Yeah, you're getting SGA at a pretty good discounted price here, so I like the second team.
Okay, sounds good. Solid advice there. Solid insights as always. Let's see the chat here. Hasty says I like one fade Payton. He likes the fade Payton. I think that was on Fanduel.
Yeah, he said that when we were talking about Fanduel. Yeah.
Yeah. Also says DJ at 3.8 for value. He likes that. You'd like DJ today. NAC a lot. IRL not sure for DFS. Sorry, he means NAW. Canada's best slept on NBA player. NAW.
So Nikhil Alexander Walker, he's great for DFS. He shoots a ton. That's honestly what you love. He's always near minimum. Whenever he gets the opportunity, he always crushes just because he's so aggressive. So yeah, definitely a great DFS play.
Yep. Okay, let's wrap up with our last segment here. Let's do it quickly and start building our lineups ourselves, get into the Discord, do all that stuff. Let's go over favorite play of the day on Fanduel. Who do you have?
It's KD for me on both sites. 10.1 on Fanduel. Bunch of guys missing, bunch of guys traded. Love KD here in the battle for New York. Yeah.
Okay, next up, GPP play of the day, Fanduel. Who do you have?
This one's kind of interesting. Let's go with. Let me see here real quick. Let's go with Luka. I don't think many people will be on Luka today. Obviously, we're gonna have him projected highly. Actually, I think he's probably a bit too highly owned for that. Let's go with Karl Anthony Towns. Just it changes up the construction of the lineup. You don't get DeAndre Jordan. Obviously, DeAndre is gonna be popping a lot, so I like jamming in Towns. Probably not a lock of the day, more of like I double the field on him, get 20% or something. Yeah, but yeah, I really like Towns in tournaments today on Fanduel.
I like that. And then over on DraftKings, who's your GPP play of the day?
On DraftKings, let's go with. Let's see. I mean, we could just go with Towns again. It could be Giannis as well, but I'll say Towns just at center. People are going to be spending down for guys like DeAndre Jordan, guys like Roby. So yeah, I like the different construction that it'll give you.
Okay. Then we have salary relief. That's the new one you added. Who's your salary relief player, value play of the day on Fanduel?
It's DeAndre Jordan on both sites. Obviously, this kind of contradicts the Towns play, but I'm not locking in Towns. Like in every lineup, I don't have Towns. I'll have DeAndre Jordan. I just think he's in a smash spot here. He's not gonna break your lineup. He's more likely to like raise the floor, raise the ceiling even. So I like DeAndre as my value piece for both formats, both sites.
Yep. Last one we have GPP fade of the day. Who do you have there for Fanduel?
I kind of want to say KD, but no, probably not KD. Let's see here. Let's go with Dame. I think Dame will be one of the popular spend-ups at point guard. As I always say with these fades of the day, I'm going to have them in my cash lineup. The only reason you're fading them is just to use the ownership of the field as leverage with your build. So yeah, I'll go with Dame at point guard at 9.2. He's hobbled a little with the ankle injury, so could see a way that he doesn't get there, but that's my GPP fade.
Okay, and then last but not least, DraftKings. Who do you have GPP fade of the day over there?
Let's go with Luka. I don't know, like obviously I love Luka today. He's going to be in my cash build, but in tournaments, I think you can use that ownership as leverage. As I said with Dame on Fanduel, it'll just give you a different build. It'll be more mid range. You'll get guys like Randall probably, more Ingram, more SGA, more Fox, guys like that. So yeah, I'll say Luka.
Yeah, Hasty's saying about NAW, and SGA, cousins, not brothers. Yeah, I just saw news. Obi Toppin playing today. Thibodeau, 38 minutes. What do you think? Not 38 minutes, but I'm asking, what do you think? Do you think he'll play?
It says Coach Tibbs said if there's an opportunity to play Obi Toppin Wednesday, he will, but he isn't rushing it. Sounds like Toppin may not be in rotation right away. So, I mean, yeah, I don't think it hurts Randall at all just because of that quote. Him being available to play it probably, I don't know. Like I think he's still fine. Maybe it hurts Mitch Robinson a bit. They'll play Randall at the 5, maybe Toppin at the 4, but I don't think it hurts Randall at all.
Yep. Okay, I think that's everything. If you guys have any last questions, we could answer those. If not, anything you want to add, Chris? Actually, we do have one from Hasty. What about Trigga with the Gabe Vincent insights last night? The Nigerian national team member was fearless. Great value pick last night. Looked so good.
Yeah, so once we knew he was starting, we got him into our core on DK. So yeah, that was a really good pick. Everyone from that game crushed. It obviously went into overtime, so yeah, our core was really strong yesterday.
Yep. Yeah, any closing words from you, Chris, before I wrap it up?
I mean, good luck, everyone. Hopefully we win this slate. We'll be back tomorrow, as always, every day, 2.5 hours before the lock. We'll be more focused on NBA, probably not as much NHL talk.
Yep. Yeah, I'll do last bit of housekeeping. Be sure to smash the like button. That helps us out a lot with people finding our content. Also hit subscribe so you get notifications. Hit the bell button. Click all. You'll get emails, and I think YouTube will put it like at the front of your YouTube when you go there, so you'll always kind of see our content when we're live. It's always going to be free. Like Chris said, it's 2.5 hours before main slate every day, even on holidays. No days off here. Other than that, if you like the tool, if you like the projections you saw, you can try it out risk-free if you've never been a member. DFScrunch.com right now. I think I just said this, but right now we have the 3-day free trial, so you can get the weekly 25 a week, monthly 75, no risk at all. Come try us out. You'll also get access to the Discord, which we don't show during the show, but we post the core locks there as news comes out. Like we do update the core locks over there as well. So definitely a good place to hang out, get your questions asked over there, and just talk sports, talk TFS, all that sort of stuff. And with that said, I think that's everything. Thanks for tuning in. One last question, actually, from Clement. What about CJ McCollum?
Yeah, so he's tournament only for me. His price tag is it's risen. Obviously, he's been playing well, but I don't really want to chase it in my cash games. But I do like him a lot in tournaments.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I think, Clement, you can ask us more questions in the Discord. You're a member, I know that. So we'll be there. We'll help you out there. Yeah, good luck today. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys all tomorrow, and let's take one down today.